Start us off with something, a win and a gratitude. What's something you've had a win and a
Oh,
gratitude on?
yes. Okay. A big win is that my social media, I got about 50, no, 12,000 new followers this week. So that was really cool. About 300,000 people found my page. Um, so that's excellent. It's not the million that we got in 2021 for TikTok, but it is 12,000 for Instagram. So it's a lot of new people, a lot of new faces. That's a big win. Grateful for health. I'm grateful for being able to think more preventatively now as some different health scares come up for different people. I get to look at my life, see what I can fix. Trying not to drink so many bottled waters, I'm getting a filter. Shout out to a few of you who have sent me some good stuff there. So yeah, that's my gratitude for sure. How about yourself?
Well, I was going to say my win is 36 new followers on Facebook, but never mind on that one. My win is hanging out on this Zoom. Momentum is building. And I just want to commend all of you for being here because I see something happening that is very special as each of you are just doing the thing. I see you guys, some of you getting deals, yes, and we promote that and we're glad for that. But I see some of you who maybe don't have a deal yet, but you're literally doing the thing. And when you do the thing, it's inevitable that something is going to happen. It's just going to. And so I think that's very special. And so the momentum that I've felt here over these last, 18 days together has been phenomenal. And we're just barely getting started. So we're like just over not even a third of the way through. We're not even on day 20 of 60. And the momentum is amazing. So that's my win, is just seeing you guys build this snowball alongside of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody, put in happy Saturday in the chat. Put in happy Saturday. It is June 22nd, noon for me, 3 p.m. for Drew. It's a beautiful Saturday. We got about 80 of you on here, which is always amazing to see you guys, especially those who have been here every single day with us since the beginning. Those of you who are new, welcome in. Uh, I
Welcome,
hope
welcome.
I hope the people who have been here can give good testimonial uh, to us and how we've been teaching and how we've been showing up every single day. Because really, we're doing this for you all. We're doing this to make sure we build a community and everybody's doing deals. A lot of you are doing deals, and it makes us very happy to see that. A lot of you guys are sending in leads that we're calling. What I want you guys to do next, as 37 of you out of 84 typed in Happy Saturday, just type in what you're grateful for. Type in what you're grateful for in the chat as I go over the agenda. Think about it. It could be quick, it could be long, whatever you want to do. But today we're going to be talking really quickly about what happens at the closing table. You know,
Closing
we
table, baby. We
we
love
talked
it.
about it a little bit yesterday, but what happens at the closing table? And why did Andrew say that if you miss this day, it could cost you millions of dollars? Why did he say that? Why did he say if you do come, it could make you millions of dollars? Andrew will explain just that. And then we're going to go into something very, very important. It is called the Truca mindset. This is the mindset that me and Andrew have developed over the years that has allowed us to be who we are, to be very confident in ourselves, to do our calls every single day, to show up with energy, to have built the network that we have, to be able to show up every single day as our best. This is the mindset taught to us by some of our mentors, Tony, Marshall, all these amazing people. We've learned from them. We've paid them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach us their mindsets. And of course, me and Andrew, as we travel to Italy, as we travel to Barcelona, to Japan, to Indonesia, to all these places, we've talked to all the locals, we've talked to, different people and just have learned over the past 5 years how to build this mindset. So we're going to teach that to you. Type in the chat, yes, if you're ready for that. And if we don't have at least 40 yeses, me and Andrew got to go. There we go. There we
Hey,
go.
we're
That's
almost halfway there. Progress. Oh, we got a bunch of exclamation points. That one should count as two.
I know. There
Yeah.
we go.
Keep them
Okay.
yeses
Bev,
coming. All
Bev
right,
with
good.
the energy. Um, let's dial in, Andrew.
Let's
Let's
do it.
dial
All right. So this is exciting to me. I have a call with Stephen here in a moment where we're working on this deal. that we talked to live the other day, if all of you who were on, and I may have my day incorrect, I believe it was Wednesday, and we talked to this gentleman named Dustin. And Stephen went and seen the house. We'd done this, and we're talking to the guy, seeing if we can get it locked in today. Now, regardless of whether this one goes through or not, makes no difference what I'm about to tell you, because this stuff works if you work it. And yes, it definitely makes all the difference to have the right one by your side. And I'll point out to you, though, that as you're doing this thing, it is literally taking the actions, getting lead, following up, moving toward contract, getting lead, following up, moving toward contract. Now, what I want to make mention of today, before we delve into this mindset that's going to change everything for you, is focusing on when you get to the closing table. And for those of you taking notes, you should be writing this down, because very soon I want all of you to be planning on being at a closing table, and to have your teams at a closing table if you've got teams. And the very important thing from the contract to the close is going to make a huge difference. And that is, number one, your communication with your seller in the meantime. Now, I know in theory, and it would sound sexy and be great for sales if I told you, you're just going to contract the freaking thing and send it to the title company and forget about it, and you'll get a check a few days later. Except most of the time, there's going to be a few days or a few weeks between the contract and the time you take ownership or assign it and get your check. All right. What are we going to do in that meantime? Well, depending on the seller, some sellers, they are familiar with the process. Maybe you're buying from an investor or a landlord and they get it. And then someone, maybe it's the second time they've ever sold a house or first time they've ever sold a house in their life, and you're buying it. So write this down, give clear instruction. You're going to notice this whenever we make an offer for you to come spend 3 days with us. We're going to be very distinct. We're going to say, for those of you who know we have however many amount of seats we have left at the time when we offer, we have X amount of seats left. So you're going to click the link and you're going to sign up now to get one of the seats. You have two options. It's either a VIP seat or a general admission seat. Here's what those include. After you invest in getting your seat, here's what you're going to expect next to hear from us. And then, boom, the expectation is clear. And you're going to be getting, some of you already signed up and got your seat for the upcoming event, and you already can testify to this. You will be getting texts and emails from us with very clear instructions reasonably frequently. Why? Because we want to keep excitement up and we want to make sure that everything is clear. So it's very important when you're talking to the seller, everything between here and there is very clear. So Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, the next steps will be, you'll be hearing you'll be getting the agreement. As soon as that's okayed, I'm going to be sending it over to the title to start the title search. Now, after we start the title search, also, and you depends on if you're virtual or in person, so I'm just going to go one route here, and you're going to adjust this in your own mind. Next step's going to be one of our local guys is going to be coming and doing a quick walkthrough, taking a few photos, and making sure everything lines up. And then you're going to be expecting to hear from our closing attorney here in the next couple of weeks to get a closing date scheduled. If you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Boom. Now write down on your calendar, follow up with Mr. or Mrs. Seller at X day, right? So make sure that you are following up consistently. When you get to the closing table, this is what's so important, guys. This is the difference between closing the deals or having deals fall through. That is, even if you're new, just be transparent, write it down, be transparent, normalize everything. So I am totally transparent about whatever I'm doing at the closing table. They're signing the agreements. All right, awesome. This agreement says that I'm going to be buying the house from you X, X, and X. You're always going to have an attorney to present at the closing table. So the good thing is you're not in this alone, right? Especially for those of you who are working with us, you have us working with you through the process. We have several of you who are in our communities and joined up, and we're already working on deals and partnering on deals, and we're helping you walk this across the finish line. Now, here's where it is incumbent on you, because you're the business owner, or if you're partnered with somebody and you're the one at the closing table, whether it's virtual or in person, this is to write it down. Always get a testimonial. You guys are going to see that from us all the time. Some of you have already joined our 90-day accelerator before we've even opened the doors and applied to be a part. You're noticing, you say, I got a contract. What's the first thing I say to you? And some of you guys can testify to this. Awesome. Grab your phone, hold it up, and send me a 30-second testimonial about how it's been and how you just got your first contract. Why? Because I want that moment to be remembered. Number one, I want you to sit in that moment because I want you to repeat that moment over and over again. It's good for you and it's good for us. And so you're excited about the moment. You just got a contract. You're moving toward a check. I want to capture that moment because you're going to see that several times over these next few months, because there's going to be times where a deal falls through and you feel like, crap, this isn't as easy as I wish it was right now. I want you to be able to go back to that mental state of that excitement. All right. So your seller is going to give you this testimonial. There's some apps that we can use. I'll have my team post them in the circle if you need any suggestions. But get a testimonial, whether you use an app that posts it on your website automatically or it's just on a cell phone and they're texting it to you, doesn't matter right now. We just want to make sure we always capture that moment of winning. It brings credibility, it brings you more business, and it continues to reiterate that your customer has done the right thing. So always get a testimonial. Something else that it's going to do for you, if you have a website, you're going to put it on your website. If you don't have a website yet, you soon will have. And when your website goes up, you're already going to have 4, 5, 6 testimonials to put on your website. So there's a lot more I can talk about at the closing table, but I want to make sure we get to this very important segment that's next, Leo, because I know we was talking about this pivotal point for everyone as we go to the closing table, but to really have the framework and foundation of doing this right is what you're about to tell us about.
I just want to make sure everyone, all the 90 people that are here are clear-minded and ready to take this in because it will be one of the pivotal moments for us. So give me a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. All right, give me 2 thumbs up and hold it up if you're here. I see some sleepers. We got some sleepers. People are like, oh,
Wakey,
what?
wakey,
What? Oh, yeah,
wakey,
yeah. Okay,
wakey.
awesome. So guys, one thing I'll tell you is we as we are looking at our parents, those of you whose parents are still here, and maybe we're taking care of those parents. Some of them are going through health issues. Some of them are going through financial issues. Some of them are just in very stressful times. As we see that, we start to realize that the mistakes that they made, and maybe they tell you the mistakes that they made, they should have taken care of their health more. They should have saved more. They should have invested more. They should have done all these things. And sometimes they simply were not educated in that way. But it's a very, heartbreaking moment when you walk in to, talk to your parents and they tell you they have a heart condition or they have these diseases that are coming up and it breaks your heart in the moment but you can't really do anything about it but just to help them, you take them to the ER, you take them to the hospital and you do those things. But I say this because recently in my life I've had a couple family members who've had major health issues and I would go and I would talk to them and of course I'm building an empire and I'm helping them as much as I can. But when you sit in front of them and they say, Leo, I have this disease or I have this, I have heart disease, I have all these different things, and you just sit there, you feel pretty helpless. And they how they are, they just like to give you advice of, hey, make sure you take care of yourself. I could have prevented this years ago, but I didn't. I just kept working and kept working, and I just didn't think anything of it. So I wanted to bring that up because for all of us, sometimes we really just need that reminder to really take care of ourselves. And of course, you guys are going to be doing deals. You guys are going to be making the money. The money's not the problem. Money's going to come, right? Money is abundant. Money is printed for that sake, for that matter. However, your health is only one. And you guys could have so many goals and could have so many ambitions that you want to achieve, but that parent who just got diagnosed with heart cancer, whatever they were going through, they only have one goal, and that is just to be healthy. So just remember that piece, as we're working every single day to become our best selves, to become our healthiest selves. And as we're doing this business, is that the business will come, but please take care of your health. Please take care of these things. And I want to share this because when me and Andrew, we had gone to Barcelona, in Spain. If you've been to Barcelona, Spain before, put it in the chat. I want to know who's been there because we want to go back. But we went to Barcelona, Spain, and it was a beautiful, beautiful time, just so beautiful. And we were sitting there and talking to all these people about their food and their health. And me and Andrew sat down at the in the Airbnb, and we went throughout our day. So it was like 3 a.m. We just couldn't sleep. We were super excited for the trip. And we sat down at 3 a.m. and I had asked Andrew, who's the most successful person you know? And he listed off about one or two people. And I said, who else? And he started listing a few more people. I said, Andrew, the first person you said, they're on their fourth divorce and they just cheated on their wife. That second one is overweight and is unhappy with their life. They're rich. They got millions of dollars, but what happens there? The third one is going through multiple legal issues. Again, rich, uh, great family, but going through all these things. So we kept going down that list of like, Andrew, who are the most successful people you know? And I started listening to people I know. And we just realized that not many of the people that we looked up to or that we had around us or that we could look up to had a fully successful life of a healthy family, a healthy lifestyle, in good shape, healthy mentally, healthy internally, healthy physically, was making good money, was in ethical, legal matter, all these different things they didn't have. So that's when me and Andrew said, wow, we got to find those people and we got to do that for ourselves. So we went out and we started finding these people who were able to be successful in these areas. We found different sections, people who were spiritually healthy, people who were mentally healthy, people who were financially healthy. And we interviewed all of them and we just started learning from them. What are they doing right? What are their habits? What made this person so successful? He's a multi-millionaire and he's healthy. What do they do? How did they do? How did they combine the two together? And we just talked to everybody. And me and Andrew, we're lab rats. If we learn something, if someone tells us something, we implement. And I know those of you who are here who know us, you know how hard we work and all the different things that we do because we teach it back to you guys. But we started doing it every single day, all these different types of habits. And what came up was what I'm about to show you. And it is the exact tool and framework that you could take our 4 years of doing this, and today you can look at it and just understand that framework and that mentality of how do I take care of myself in all the angles. And so I never forget again about my health because we can easily forget once we start working and the next day it's like, oh, I forgot to take care of my health. I forgot to eat healthy because that's how our minds work. We just forget these things. So as me and Andrew really started to implement this into our lives, that is when I looked at Andrew, 3, 4 months later, and he had lost 45 pounds and he was now enjoying the business. And all these things started happening, and all of our people around us, our best friends, we would show them this framework, and they started to lose so much weight, but then their business started to go back up. We help people who are already very successful, but when we show them this framework, it makes them even more successful. They start to take care of the things that really matter. So as I show you here, I want you to be very attentive because I just don't want you to lose this. I want you to have this and I want you to take it in. Okay. So we call it the Truka mindset. Truka. Truka means human beings. Okay, that is us. But Truka means holistic human beings. Truka. Put it in the chat. Just so you remember, and the reason we tell you guys to put stuff in the chat and to write it down is so you can be attentive, but you can also remember these things. So try to say it out loud, put it in the chat, just so you can really remember as I show you this framework. Truka. So Truka means human beings, but it really means holistic human beings. Holistic means interconnected. It means that your physical health is connected to your emotional health. Because, for example, when your physical health is good, when you're moving, when you're in action, your emotional health starts to get better. And when your emotional health starts to get better, guess what else starts to get better? Your relationships, your ability to connect with people. When that gets better, guess what else gets better? Business starts to get better. You feel better about going into the sales calls. You feel better about going to the gym. Now you're starting to eat better. Now, when business is up, physical is up, all these things are up, guess what's going to be up as well? Your financial. Now money's pouring in. Okay, I really want you to feel this. Now money's coming in every single month. Maybe conservatively, you just have one lease option every month. $10,000, $20,000 of an end rod coming in. Now you're good. You're able to breathe. You're feeling better now. And because of that, now you're buying healthier foods. Now you're getting a personal trainer. Now you're getting a coach. Now you got all these different things. They're helping you increase and better your lifestyle. So let me show you this. Are you guys ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, really take it in. So guys, this is the Truka mindset. Okay. This is the Truka mindset. It is the holistic wheel of life. Now I want you to take a look at this for a moment. Look at this wheel. If you could look at this and see that this is my life, these are the 8 categories of what I consist of and what I need to develop to live a good life or to live a bad life. And I want you to imagine something really quick. Let me take a graph. I probably have it here. I'll stop sharing my screen for just a moment. Grab this graph. And when you start to see this, you're really going to start to understand what it means to live holistically. Okay. Do you see my screen? Oh, here we go. So imagine this wheel. Okay. We have this wheel right here, which is the Trukin wheel of life. And then we have this section right here. Now I want you to imagine, and I want you to ask yourself, how is your physical health doing right now? How is your physical health? Have you been feeling good physically? Is your energy feeling really good? Are you working out? Are you eating the right foods and everything's feeling really good? Maybe you're an 8. Or maybe you've just been sitting around. You've been eating the wrong foods, having too much sodium, having too much all these bad stuff, junk foods. So maybe you're a 2 because you're not feeling so good. So maybe you're right here. Let's imagine, guys, that this is 2. Okay, I can't draw it, but I can do as much as putting a triangle here. So let's just say this is a 2. We usually like to color it in, but we're working with what we have. This is a 2. Okay. Now we rate how our environment is. Do you have the right people around you? Are the people around you lifting you up? Is your environment clean? Is your office clean? Is your neighborhood in a good place where you feel good about it? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, maybe it's a 6 or a 7. Now let's just go through the rest of them. Let's just go through all 8. And you start to find out that Maybe you're a 6 here and a 2 here and a 4 here and a 5 here and a 1 here and a 9 here. Now imagine this wheel as the wheels on your car and you had to go for a drive. And it's hard to actually see it here. So when you guys come to the Truca event, you're going to see it exactly portrayed. But how bumpy of a ride would that be? Now, if you take a look here, if your physical health is not in a good place, again, your emotional will go down. If your emotional health is not in a good place, you're not going to be as resilient. You're not going to be able to handle situations as well. So when the business, as it always does, starts throwing challenges at you, you're not able to handle them. So vocational, which means work, which means business, starts to go down. And again, what happens when that goes down? Everything goes down. So who's ever been in a rut? Or maybe who is currently in a rut? Raise your hand. Just be honest. Just about every single one of us. Now, when we have this framework, we can understand exactly why that we're in that rut. Because one of these 8 areas has been lacking for us, and we have not focused on it, but we understand this law that when one goes down, the rest go down. And on the flip side, when one goes up, the rest go up. These 8 categories are elements. They're all elements that allow you to view your life in a holistic manner. Because we understand that having a good circle and being around the right people is just as important as getting your physical health in. So when we read a self-development book or we read a business book, what happens is that it's zoomed in on just one of these sections. And then we'll focus so much on that section for 3 months. We'll put the blinders on because we just read this book. And now all of a sudden, we read a spiritual book and that's it. And our spiritual's great. And things also start to improve, but then we stop working on these other sections. So now if we can look at our life in this way, if we read a business book or if we read a communication book or if we're taking a course or if we're on these 60 days, we can start to see, okay, because I'm on these 60 days, I'm improving my vocational, I'm improving my environmental, I'm improving my social because I'm around this huge community. My physical is better because we're making sure you're getting up and getting some motion in. Your emotional is getting better because we're helping your mindset. Your intellectual is definitely getting better because we're teaching and we're sharing these thoughts and you're getting these insights. Your spiritual is getting better. We hope, we believe, because you're increasing your faith in yourself. You're increasing your faith in God. You're increasing your faith in the business. And then your financial is definitely improving. So when me and Andrew build anything, we say, are we attacking? Are we putting on these 8 categories? And are we improving them? That is the Truca mindset. With anything that we do, this is the Truca mindset. Type in the chat, yes, if you've seen this before. It's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We got a few minutes here before we let you guys go. Who has seen this before? Okay. A lot of you guys have seen it. A lot of our students have seen it. So the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is something we may have seen back in school, even back in high school, but it was never taught in the right way. What the Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains is that we need to have our physiological needs, which is the bottom here, in order to think about our safety needs or anything above. Our physiological needs is our air, water, food, shelter, sleep, which means you got to eat the right foods and you got to be able to have clean water. You got to be able to have sleep and all these basic needs. If you're even going to think about the next step, which is your safety, this is your resources, this is your health, this is your property, this is employment, this is personal security. But if you don't have food, there's no way you're going to think about employment. There's no way you're going to think about health if you don't have food. So now it says you need physiological and safety needs in order to think about love and belonging, which is friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. Okay, the sense of connection. We're living in the loneliest times we've ever been in. right? And you might think we have social media, but that has created more loneliness and the sense of being alone within people. So now you need these two, the safety and physiological, to have the love and belonging. And you need that sense of connection before you have the esteem, the respect, the status, the recognition, the strength, and the freedom, which is what we're all trying to achieve, is that freedom, is that ability to do what it is that you want, the ability to have that strong self-esteem because you do what it is that you say you're going to do. And then, of course, at the top is self-actualization, the desire to become the most that you can be, the greatest version of yourself. So now when we understand the Maslow's hierarchy of needs for ourselves, we start to say that's why you got to be in a position to sleep well. And you got to eat the right foods. And you got to drink the water. You got to do these things before you think about the rest of them. But if we go one step further, now we can look at our lives in such a holistic way. We can look at all the angles and really the only angles that we have to work on. Our physical, our social, our spiritual, our financial, vocational, emotional, intellectual, and environmental. Having a diagram like this is what has changed me and Andrew's life. And everything we teach is based along these Trucan philosophies. So even if we look at the Bobslow method, right? Buy and owner finance, sell and lease option. The way that we follow our lives is the same way we follow a business in our diagrams. Okay. It's step by step. It's knowing which steps I need to take, what I need to do on a day-to-day basis. But this right here is just a piece of your vocational. Because as you apply this, and this is what all of our 90-day accelerator students go through, this is what all of our Freedom Life students go through, is really dialing in on this Bobslow method. But we make sure every single student understands that this is just a piece. So what I want to leave with you today is this word Truca. And it just so happens to be me and Andrew's and our company's name. But Truca is what I want you to live by. It is just the idea of living holistically. And when you can do that, when you could take the 5+ years that me and Andrew have had interviewing people, talking with mentors, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on mentorship, and just take this as a way of life, as a way of seeing your life, it is only going to provide massive amounts of benefit. And you're going to see extreme amounts of growth in the way that you think, in the way that you speak to others, in the way that you come off to others, in the way that you're respected in others' eyes, in the way that you're respected when you look in the mirror, in the way that you do your sales calls, in the way that you close deals, and every single way possible is changed and improved and developed because of this wheel right here. So I say that with so much conviction. So this is not lost, this is not forgotten, that every single day moving forward, we utilize the Truca mindset, we utilize this system. Okay, that's time. What a beautiful Saturday to learn that lesson. Type in the chat yes if you heard that message, if you took it in, if you commit to living a holistic life, if you commit to becoming the best version of yourself. And I hope we get yeses across the board because we're showing up every 60 days. We show up every single day. This is just a 60 days within, our decade of working, but we're showing up all the time just so we can get the growth from you guys, and we want to see it. So I'm glad we got about 40 yeses in there, even though there's 93 of you in there. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Paul, I know we spam the chat quite a bit, so I don't know if you can find any questions, but if you have any questions, leave them in there right now. And then Andrew, let's discuss what we're going over on Monday, because guys, we're not going to be here on Sunday. We're not here tomorrow. We're going to be here back on Monday. So if you have any Bobslow questions, Truca questions, put it in the chat. or any of your deals that need some working? Put it in the chat.
Put them in the chat. We're going to take questions and answers here for about 2 or 3 more minutes. For next week, next week's a big week. Next week is the 4th week of us doing this. Day 20, what is it? Day 20 on Monday. So the 3rd week of us being fully together, but the 4th week we're stepping into. I want to point out, first off, thank you for all of you who are showing up, but you're noticing we're taking you on a journey. And to be able to just give you an overview of go get leads, follow up, get contracts, that's easy for me to say, but you're seeing the framework, the mindset shift, the mental change that we're all going through, the tenacity we're building to be able to go out and to create more income. And a rising tide lifts all ships, to be able to better impact others, to be able to be a better part of a community, to continue to grow in all facets. So we're going to be taking you through more of the journey of closing deals, getting checks, and growing personally, because it's very important. Something I didn't realize, if your finances ever outgrow your personal growth, your finances will quickly come back down to where your personal growth sets. But as long as you can raise both together, you can continue to rise. There's no limit. So questions and answers.
All right. Well, guys, we have a very special share today. One of our special mastermind members, Timothy Pearson, he says that Larry and Ruth Ann Pearson are celebrating 62 years of marriage today. So congratulations.
Happy anniversary, Larry and Ruth. 62 years.
All right.
Yeah, happy anniversary, guys. All right. A cool share here. Nathan Brown says, I already started. I have been swimming every week and I lost 20 pounds already. So shout out to Nathan. And Marilyn says, I lost 20 pounds, Marilyn says, and I've been eating very healthy, walking and exercising. Got sick overnight with the flu virus, but recovering. All right, awesome.
That's crazy awesome. Way to go.
So question here from Andrew. He says, just a query around closing. He says, are you running the closing rather than the attorney? I'm a little confused as to what you're telling us aside from communicating and being clear with the seller between contract and closing.
Yes. Awesome question, Andrew. First off, you've really got a great name. Secondly, when it comes to closing, no, the attorney is always going to facilitate it. What I am suggesting is, while an attorney is the one heading it up and is supposed to be the lead on closing, remember you're the business owner. And I've had attorneys who are already closed 200 creative deals, 1,000 creative deals, and they handle it like a pro, and there's need for me to say almost nothing. And I've also had attorneys who it was their first creative deal, and I had to take charge and be the business owner, guide everyone through it. While they are the lead on it, I had to be there to continually help push it forward and ensure that everything was done correctly as my attorney and I learned together. So just make sure that you are remembering you're the business owner while you're counting on your attorney to lead it up, that you are also taking responsibility to ensure that everything goes well. Again, if it's virtual or if it's in person.
All right. Nice win from Sylvia. She says, going to buy a house today. I'm excited. My level is 9. May need a JV. So congrats, Sylvia, on that.
Way to go, Sylvia.
Jacob asks, when it comes to numbers, do you think it makes sense for a flipper to put $100K into a property for a potential profit of 70,000?
That has so many nuances to it. That's a maybe. Is a 70% return on a 100 grand investment good? Absolutely. Is there going to be many months of work between here and there? No clue. So it depends on the risk, depends on the upside, depends on where the 100K is coming from. My question is, can I put the 100K into 3 wholesale deals and make just as much money with no risk? If the answer is no, maybe it's something you proceed forward with. But my favorite is not fix and flip. I've done many more than I care to admit, and I've got several mastermind students on here who are actively doing them, making killer money. So I don't bash fix and flip. I'm just telling you there's a lot easier ways to make money. So make sure that you're making a decision based on what's smart, not getting caught up in hopefully it turns to 70K.
Hey, the big shout out to Eric Hallsworth. He says, I just got my first deal under contract about 30 minutes ago. Way to go, Eric.
Of course you did, Eric. Way to go, man. I would expect nothing less.
All right. Good stuff.
All right. These wins are mind-boggling to me. I'm telling you, it's incredible. And what we're doing here today is just to continue to pour in, because I love seeing these wins and I love seeing this comeback. And what's about to happen, you guys watch over these next 3 to 4 weeks as you show up every day. This whole world, this whole thing going on here is going to be a different thing. I'm giddy about what's happening. Make sure that you are inviting your friends and family to join. They need this too. So don't be selfish and keep it all to yourself. Share it out. Number 2, make sure you're in the circle posting every day, because your win, Eric, your win, Sylvia, your win, someone else who lost 20 pounds. All of you, these wins inspire others who may be struggling. So jump in the circle, post your wins every day. Tomorrow, we're going to be spending time with our families. We're going to be having a wonderful, relaxing, recharging, and planning for the week ahead to deliver you guys crazy awesome value and show you the next steps on this exciting journey to building your cash flow. All right?
Awesome. Well, it was Marilyn that lost 20 pounds. And I want to see your guys' wins coming in every single day in the chat and on Circle, because this is how we win. We are on a winning streak. And again, we rejoice in everybody's success. And if whoever heard that when I first said it, I know they're going to get so many deals because they're looking at all the other wins and saying that's also my win, because your win is my win. All right. As you guys win, so do we. And as we win, so do you. So let's keep this rocking. Again, we'll see you on Monday, not Sunday. Sunday, do what you got to do. Be with the family. Do what you got to do. We'll see you Monday. All right.
See you Monday, same time.
Bye, everybody.
Now, guys.
Keep it rocking.